So we're going to be a bit short on this one today. Multiple reasons as to why. Uh,
Mostly my ball bumps.
no,
I, I got to paste them up.
well, okay. Just to give a little inside baseball on the reason why things are going to be a little rushed today. We'll start with last night. For instance, I spent 7.5 hours in a damn vet's office, all for the vet to come out and basically tell me that the cat that I brought in had early onset pneumonia. So yeah, and Chad couldn't stand to hear that, so he just pieced out. He was just he was just like, nope, pneumonia, can't hear that, not doing, no doing. Yeah, so that's why he pieced out there. But dude, 7.5 hours, all for them to just tell me that. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I mean, I do everything in my power to try and be
I
like
give up, dude. I give up. Whatever.
what happened? What happened, dude?
He escaped his confines, and if he gets sick, whatever. Whatever.
Fuck. Well, thankfully, it's not like if he does get sick. And that's the other part of it. The rest of the cats at my mom's house, basically, are sick as well. So it's just one of those things. And me having to sit there for 7.5 hours, all for them to just tell me that he had early stages of pneumonia. I'm just like, could have told me that within like 30 minutes. Why did I have to wait
Yeah.
over 7 hours for this shit? Ugh. So yeah, needless to say, frustrations. It basically fucked my whole day up yesterday.
I
I
bet.
wasn't able to record. We were barely able to do anything. I got home at like 2 in the morning, and then
Yeah.
Nick was just like, "Dude, we got to record at least one thing," and we recorded Attack on Titan, and that was it. Thankfully,
Mm.
I got some in my backlog to like help me get through it, but still, though, just days like that completely. It's like a side quest that's not worth it. It's
It
like one of
ruins
those.
everything,
It's like
dude.
one of those side quests that you take in Skyrim, and it's just not worth it. It's just like, oh, why did I do this? And then I remember from my mom. I mean, Jesus. But either way, though, we've had some interesting like stuff happen. But Nick, or sorry, Rick, Rick. Bleh, sorry. See, I'm still tired, dude. I'm still fucking tired. So we're going to be doing the round table again. And instead, we're only going to be doing one in this video, one each.
Hmm.
We're going to spend about 10 to 12 max on each discussion. So I guess Rick, we'll start with you, and I will start the timer. Here we go. Whenever you want to go, man.
So, do you guys believe in the paranormal?
To a certain
No.
extent. To a certain extent.
Because some people who are like that's fucking fake and stupid, and there's some people are like, I can see it, or some people are like, that's hands down completely real. I was motorboated by Casper when I was 3 years old. So,
Happened to me.
so you have different levels of things, and obviously sometimes spirituality be part of it. Your ethnic background could be part of it. But do you believe in the paranormal? Do you think it's real? Like obviously,
Hmm.
me and Nate does a lot of Nuke Top Five reactions here and there. The
If
stories.
it's if it exists, then I believe that it's just normal. I don't believe in like I always thought it was weird that people would express it as, this sub reality when it's like it either is or it isn't. There's no in between. Like maybe there are things going on outside of like our dimension or whatever, like that we can't
Mm-hmm.
see. We don't have the senses to be able to decipher what's going on, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist just because it's odd to us. Like the whole idea of paranormal shit, it's like ghosts are real or aliens are real or Bigfoot. Like the Bigfoot debate to me is a huge like what the fuck because Neanderthals were for sure a real thing. We don't have
True.
to wonder if Bigfoot existed. We know he did. The question is, does he still exist? You know, shit like that.
Yeah. And I'd say the biggest thing with paranormal stuff it's just stuff beyond the bounds of, like, if it is a real thing, it's stuff that's beyond the bounds of what we're able to truly understand. And I know that Occam's razor basically says if you can't measure it or it can't be observed to be like studied, therefore it has no effect on you and you should just cut it out. That's a part of the scientific method that I don't really prescribe to 100% because, like, how did we know gravity was a thing before? Can you truly observe gravity at work? Oh, we understand how gravity works now. It's like, oh, here's, like, there you go.
Yeah.
So that's an observation of gravity, but we weren't aware that this was an observation of gravity back when we were, like, back when human beings were, like, not as enlightened as they are now. And it's just the progression of human knowledge and everything comes from the impossible, being made possible. For instance, phrenology was a study of human behavior. It determines skull shape and everything like that. That's what determines a human, like, whether they're submissive, whether they're dominant, whether they're intelligent, whether they're stupid, whether they're evolved or of a higher breed of human, or if lower. But then all of a sudden the advent of neuroscience comes out, and thus the hundreds of years of dedicated scientific research that's been dumped into phrenology, all for naught, means nothing.
Yeah.
Exactly. And now phrenology is considered a pseudoscience, as well it should be, because back then they didn't know. And when neuroscience came into the fold and just completely blew that out of the water, there was a massive amount of resistance. People saying, no, there has to be something that this means. It's like, no, you just studied skull shapes. Has no bearing on a human, on the human mind, unless it's like a literal skull protruding in onto the human brain. Like that. That's my whole thing with science, is that it's a progression. And it's something that, humans get better at most of the time. But
most of the time.
But in truth, if it comes to the paranormal, I have witnessed and seen things that are unbelievable, and
Same.
I scarce to think that people would believe me, like if I told them or anything like that. And there are things out there that I think we don't understand completely, and there's some things to chalk up to paranormal I think is unfair. Like Bigfoot. I don't think Bigfoot's a paranormal thing. I don't think that aliens are a paranormal thing. I think, in truth, you think about the concept of magic. Like, you look at electricity flowing through the air to someone back in the 1800s. That's magic.
Paranormal.
That's magic. That's paranormal.
Yeah.
Burn him.
Yeah.
He's a witch.
Burn him. Yeah. But
yeah, I agree with that totally. Like the idea that it's like this separate thing from our normal reality, and it's not. It's like, just because we don't get it and we don't have the full equation to spell it out for us, doesn't mean that it's not. It's just something that exists. I definitely believe that there's. I've had my own interesting situations, I will say, that I know were real and I know that they happened and I have no explanation for them, but an explanation exists, whether it's a weird explanation or not.
True.
Just study insects for a little while. Them motherfuckers should be considered paranormal.
Yes, most definitely.
But it just is,
Yeah. Like I went through my share of experiences and I'm still a skeptic, even though I went through this kind of stuff. But some of the things were when I was a kid, and then some other situations were just very unexplained things, and I don't know how things got there, and it's a whole bunch of things. I'm in this little bubble of I can understand people who are full headstrong into this is fucking real and this is my life, and I'm gonna go on and have a 28 season show on True TV to find out the answer. And I can see that. But then it's okay, but some things could be staged. So it's like it's this
Yeah.
weird
Yeah.
underlying thing. It's weird.
Mountain monsters. Mountain monsters.
Yeah.
Dear
Well, I feel
God.
like we're more tuned in whenever we're kids too. We're on a different frequency, so
Yeah.
we can probably receive things that people normally can't when they, grow into adulthood because there's so many changes that go on our brains. Maybe that because my experiences were as a kid also, so I feel
Mm.
like shit is dulled more to that kind of stuff when you grow up.
Yeah. I mean,
So
that is something that is yeah, it's most definitely it. The older you get, the more skeptical you get. Hate to say it,
Yeah.
but the more your brain like matures, the more we are in tune to just like want to problem solve and figure stuff
Yeah.
out. Versus when we're a kid, we're just enjoying the ride. We're like most kids anyway. There's some
Oh
kids
yeah.
that I've met are just like from the jump. They're like wanting to like explore and figure stuff out and put stuff together and everything. And I'm amazed by those kids, but for the most part, most of us are just like, hey, this is cool. Hey, I'm going to run down this hill at full speed. Nothing bad will happen.
mhm.
Fall and break my face.
Them universal vibrations be hitting different when you're a kid.
I just
Yeah.
I found this image. My mom sent me this. So this is from years ago.
Okay.
The
It
hand.
was a hand on her bed.
Bigfoot once again.
But look
Yep.
how it's shaped.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's 2 times bigger than my hand. I was the only man in the house. So my mom was asleep. She said she felt like someone touched her leg. She woke up. She was cleaning her bed, and she found that handprint.
Swamp
and
Thing.
It's literally just 2 times the size of my hand. So there's no
Yeah.
other man in the house. I was the man in the house. I think I was like 15 at the time.
Damn.
So that's like one paranormal experience I had.
Creepy.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, really fucking creepy.
Yeah, I was going to say, man, does your mom know Swamp Thing? Because that handprint was pretty green.
You ain't call me back no more.
It's like, we used to go down to the bayou and have a good time.
I mean, it kind of
Candlelit dinner.
explains how I'm so sweaty in games.
Oh shit. You think you're related to Swamp Thing?
Yep. Because after a
Yeah.
game session, I think I have like mean swamp ass. So
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, there's gonna be a swamp ass reference in there somewhere.
Swampish.
The sweaty wampus. Gosh. All right. So that's like I say, in terms of the paranormal, I think we all have our various thoughts on it. I mean, what do y'all think out there? I mean, do you all think that there's such a thing as like the afterlife, paranormal? What are your explanations of it?
A
I mean,
halfway
feel free-
point, maybe.
Yeah. Feel free to let us know. Feel free to hit us
basically
up in the
purgatory.
comments. Oh yeah, purgatory and limbo and all that. And
Love that game.
I do too. Yeah, same. Great game. But all right, Chad, what is the subject that you wish to be discussing on this day?
The Japanese Pokemon card boom that is happening right now.
Jesus Christ!
The insanity. Thousands and thousands of dollars being spent on single cards that you can get from packs right now.
Yes.
And it's not the American versions. Yeah, it's those.
Yeah.
It's Japanese cards, which are they're in a league of their own. They're distributed differently. They're packaged differently. You get different amounts of packs and booster boxes and things like that. But here's the biggest thing that I want to warn people of right now.
What's that?
So the ones that Rick has right there, those are some of the older sets.
Yep.
So it won't have this problem. But as of the past couple of months, there's a huge issue that's come up of people being able to open booster boxes, scan the packs of cards, and weigh them, and find which ones have these rare trainer cards in them. Take those packs out, put another pack in, and then reseal those booster boxes.
Oh, that's fucked, dude.
Okay? So, it's getting so bad that they're even putting a premium, quote unquote, on booster boxes and even boxes of booster boxes to say, hey, we promise we didn't tamper with these, so we're going to charge you another $200. Instead
right.
of instead of, you can buy this from us, you don't have to question whether we went through it. Like, they're charging people to promise them they haven't done that. So you're paying the price of the box and an extra premium to make sure they haven't been rifled through and the good stuff taken out.
That's
It's gotten
Yeah.
so bad because it's easy to cheat the system and weigh these packs and seal them back, and take all the good shit out.
That's been a problem for years, honestly. Even like
Yeah.
when the first boom happened, since obviously Logan Paul,
Yeah.
he came out to fight with the Charizard, and that kind of, and then also him buying the first fossil box for like
Yeah.
almost like $1 million or $250,000.
yeah.
'Cause
And then he opened
that
it
initiated
on stream.
that initiated a big boom where that was a problem. So when I started doing Pokemon card openings, there was no boom yet. And then about, I'll say maybe 6 months into me doing those openings in maybe early 2020, that's when he came out with the stream, and then he came out with the boxing with the card on his chain. And that
Yeah.
epidemic you're talking about now was a problem for maybe 10 months, where people would get
Yeah.
cards that seemed a little bit tampered with, or like it'll be packs where
They're
you could
resealed.
tell,
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
you
back.
could tell either someone get like a what we call it, a hair blower,
Yeah.
and
A heat gun.
a heat gun to reseal it, or sometimes like if you get an authentic box, sometimes with Pokemon, you will see like either a stamp on it, or you see like a little bit of I guess like a hollow picture on
Mhm.
it. Those
Yeah.
is like Pokemon Center or Pokemon. Sometimes it would just get a regular plastic. Like, okay, this is different, and the material feels cheaper and it's easy to rip. Those are the telltale signs that it has been opened and
Right.
tampered with. So you
That's
always
the
gotta look.
English version, though. The English
No,
version of
the Japanese versions are the same way.
Well,
Um,
the way that you can tell with the Japanese versions of the cards, though, is because you're guaranteed in a box. Right, right.
So it has a
But
seal on
you're
it.
guaranteed a certain amount of, like, the rarities are broken up into different categories, and each one of them you're guaranteed a certain amount in each box.
Yeah.
So you can tell when your shit's been tampered with, but what are you going to do about it after you've done dropped like fucking $500 on a box or whatever? And the reward for people going in and tampering with this shit is higher than ever, because I mean, even the Rainbow Pikachu, it was like 350 tops when it was at like the top. We're talking about full art trainer cards, one card being like $2,000.
Jesus.
So these people are just like, fuck it. We don't care if our reputation gets wrecked. We sell 10 of those and we've done made our paycheck.
Yeah,
They
True.
don't care.
You've destroyed the market basically.
Yeah, why should we sell the box if we could just find the card and just sell the card? So even though, yeah, we went through $5,000 worth of inventory of boxes, but with those $5,000 worth of boxes, we found
But-
10 of them. So that's
But then
what,
just
$20,000?
sell the boxes also.
Yeah.
Just put shitty packs in there and seal it back, and then sell the
Yeah.
box and the card.
I remember when I don't know when the swap happened, but when American cards were going for much higher than Japanese cards, now it's swapped.
It just happened a couple months ago. And here's why. Because they're getting. It's always been this way, but their shit releases first. But nobody cared. And they have higher quality cards, but nobody cared. And what happened was people wanted the waifu cards. So they started having all these full art
Oh,
trainer
boy.
cards that came out. And all these fucking people who never touch grass and who were sleeping with their hentai pillows have decided that, they were just going to get into Pokemon for the sole purpose of getting the chick cards, the waifu cards. And so now those things are like way through the roof, man. Way through the roof.
Damn.
People have fetishized the hobby. It's insane.
It's fucking insane, dude.
So, yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't have only mostly female cards. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? There's still only mostly females in this box.
Yeah, but those are mostly English, so you're not cool anymore.
No,
I don't think that's English. I
no,
don't
it's
think these
not.
are
No,
It's
it's
English.
not.
Japanese. Yeah.
What are those? Dang, a lot of those are from what was it? The Misty one and the Sabrina one and all those
Hmm.
Cosmic
Damn.
Eclipse. Those were some cool cards. See, I'm down. Like one of the things I like to do is collect the shit from Gen 1 and Gen 2, those trainer cards and stuff. Like I think
Hmm.
that's really cool. But I think it's like epically strange to go and like take a kid's game and crush on the characters and like fetishize the characters and make that your reason for being interested in the hobby. Eh,
When
Yeah.
some of those characters being crushed on are literally like 15, 16. It's like,
it's problematic.
yeah, pretty
Yeah,
bad.
you're
Problematic.
Pretty
you're
bad.
basically in a sense trying to um sexualize a 13-year-old, 10-year-old, 11-year-old.
Here's my question. Why doesn't the Pokemon company step in and go, okay, we see what you're doing here, mass produce that shit like now?
So it
They're
drops
going
the
to buy
value.
it. People are going to buy
True.
it. Why should they care what the secondhand market is doing?
Why indeed?
But
Honestly, man,
anyway,
that's
that's my topic.
okay.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
I've been through that situation years ago with the English set, and now I guess the Japanese set is going through that situation. It sucks because I did want to revisit the whole Pokemon card game,
Hmm.
but now I saw prices of certain things I wanted to get, and I rethought my life process,
Not worth it.
and it's not worth it yet. I'm gonna wait until a few more months until it kind of drops, and
It
also
does. It
people are
always
creepy.
does.
Yeah.
People are creeping. If your sole purpose is to get certain characters, like for like female characters, and you know they're in the Law and Order age, then yeah, that's
You're problematic, dude.
Pretty
Get
iffy.
help.
Pretty iffy.
Yeah.
So, okay. Terms of my topic, I just gonna say it. These internet dramas that have been popping up over the last little bit. The one that is the biggest talk right now. Sneako finally responded to Charlie a week later, and I'm like, yeah. And Charlie had to literally had to be like, yeah.
yeah.
Also, this is not a clip. It's a magazine. Charlie, you're better than this. You're bigger than this. Why do
He
you do
flexed
this?
his guns, dude. He did it on purpose.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
flexed his guns
Yeah,
just to
and
be like, I'm on the internet. I have guns. Okay.
so do
you live
I.
in America, dude.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
this is America. Guns in my area. And honestly, that's my thing too. I mean, I am a carrier. This is a registered firearm, by the way. I don't, I'm not anything. That it's nothing special. I mean, Rick's got one too. I mean, like that's the thing. We're all like
He
basically
broke
everyone
out
I
an
know is
AR,
strapped.
though. Like, he even broke out. He
Yeah,
pulled out
that
two
was a little
different guns.
excessive.
And I was
Well,
just like, dude, okay, congratulations. Neither one of
I
y'all are
mean,
going to do anything.
I mean, exactly. It's like I get his point because obviously Sneako was quote unquote threatening him that I'll come to Florida, and then that was his way of saying, all right, come, no, come here. You said that's a clip. That's not a clip. This is a magazine, and then this is a magazine. Obviously, takes out the bigger one. It's like I get what you're trying to do to try to like negate him from coming to Florida, but it's like, what's up with the dick measuring content?
Well,
Like,
yeah,
contest.
It really was. It
It was a
really
dick measuring
was.
contest. That's all it was.
well, it's just like this. It'd just be like, so how do you want to go? Do you want to go loud and loud and nasty, or do you want to go? Yeah, basically, that's the kind of shit he was doing. I'm just like, dude, come on, like that's just it's entertaining.
Nothing,
It's entertaining, but it's just like, dude, be better than this. Come on.
it's the equivalent of like getting a big dually truck because you have a small penis. To me, like the weakest shit you could do is just be like, I got guns. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
Flexing.
T150 or two. I got four
Okay.
250. Like, okay,
Like I don't give
yeah,
a
I'll
shit.
pick up 250.
mm. Prison, dude. Prison is a place I don't want to go.
Same.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and you can be walking a thin line of threatening people with a firearm real quick.
Yes.
If it can
And
be, especially if it goes to a jury, that can be interpreted.
Yeah. I
so
That could
mean,
be.
yeah, I know origins of that debate happening between them, or no.
yeah, I
You
know.
know the background basically.
It's all
Yeah.
stupid.
Sneako was a quote unquote cuck, and I
I
guess
mean, he was. He admitted he was. It just
I mean,
is what it is.
He watched his girl get fucked right in front of him, and yeah, he was just like, "Yeah, I still love her and everything." It's like, dude, okay, fine, if that's how you want to live, but
and then
you
he
know,
put it on the internet so people could comment about it and talk about it if they want to. If
yeah,
he
if you
put it on
don't
the
want
internet,
people to, yeah, if you don't want people to comment or talk about it, don't put it on the internet. I mean, that's, I mean, there's a reason why privacy is such a like. That's unfortunately that's the thing with it as well. Privacy and just people pulling back, pulling back the curtain way too often and letting people in too deep into their shit. And whenever people,
literally for his girlfriend.
yeah, well, I'm sorry, homie, your girl got dicked down right in front of you and you didn't do shit about it. I mean, come on.
But I mean, here's what really irritates the fuck out of me. All right, this Nico guy or whatever. I never heard about his existence until this thing.
Yeah,
But
Sneako.
here's where Moist Critical's supposed to be, right? He's like this god tier content creator. Oh my god. And then here's this guy I've never even heard of. And then Moist Critical went, "Oh, you're here? Let me just go like this."
Yeah, and
Like, dude,
you didn't have to.
you're like the Hobbit monotone version of fucking Keanu Reeves, and you've got this literal lamb of God laying in your lap because you could fart and sneeze at the same time on YouTube and it would go viral. Why would you waste your time
Because
flashing
at the
guns
moment,
at an idiot?
Nico is at the point where, because I know a lot about him because I've been examining a lot of the red pill spaces and blue pill spaces for a little while now.
Mm-hmm.
He's basically a Tate bite off.
Oh man,
That's what Sneako is. He's a Tate follower. He's like extreme Tate follower, and he believes he's not guilty and all this kind of stuff. So he's a dick muncher on Tate. So he got banned off of basically everything: Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok. So basically, what happened with Tate is what happened with Sneako. And since he's losing relevancy, it's kind of almost like the Kim Kardashian or the Kardashian curse. Whenever they start to drop off from being relevant, they try to do something to become relevant again. Like out of nowhere, the Kardashians were dying down because obviously Kanye hasn't been talking about the Kardashians. And next thing you know, for me being Puerto Rican, next thing you know, Bad Bunny, this mega superstar on the Puerto Rican side, is now dating Kendall Jenner, which now is bringing light again to the Kardashian family. So they always try to stay relevant, and there's rumors saying that Chris paid Bad Bunny to date Kendall. So it's just how that curse of that family is always trying to be in a circle.
But Charlie didn't have to play into that shit, but he did.
But so exactly, and
so
Sneako is in that same position. Sneako is trying to stay relevant. Tate is out of the picture because he's in jail. So he's trying to go on a different bandwagon. He's trying to mess with other people. Tweet very viral stuff and basically controversial stuff.
And he went after, and he just so happened to go after one of the biggest commentary YouTubers out there, and he just so happened to respond.
And he fell for the bait.
Yeah, and this is my thing with it. Is like this is my whole deal. I don't do this for the drama. I don't do this. I've been on YouTube for about 10 years. I don't do this shit for the drama. I don't do this shit to drum up antagonization against other people. Do I have things to say? Yeah, but that's I try to be as critical as possible about it, and I don't try and make it personal. I don't do personal attacks on people, and just, for instance, when we did our fans sent us a reaction. This is years ago. To GradeAUnderA. GradeAUnderA was a YouTuber at the time. He was a commentary YouTuber, did funny little animations. They were funny at the time. And I remember people sent us one called "Reaction Channels Are Bad," and
Oh, God.
We actually found ourselves agreeing with him on a lot of the fronts because he was raising it about Jinx and CJ is so cool. And I'd said that about Jinx and CJ is so cool. They literally, like, had the video they were reacting to take up the majority of the screen. It was, like, upwards of, like, 80% of the screen. And these guys would barely do any commentary, barely do anything about, you know, to, like, add to the video. And then it was, like, the original video is, like, 10 minutes long, and their reaction is, like, 10 minutes and 25 seconds. And they add nothing. They add no commentary, no before, no after. And they just, hey, make sure to like and subscribe, and then just move on. And then I'm like, dude, come on. And he was critical of that. And we were like, we agree. I mean, I found myself agreeing with him on the line. I was like, yeah, because you have to add commentary. You have to add something to the video if you're reacting to something, because that's part of like fair use. You know, you have to do that. And not only that, but you know, don't you want to like people to remember you instead of just remembering the video that you're reacting to? You know, you add something, you say something funny, you do something interesting. You know, you laughing to the point where you fall, like for me, falling in the floor laughing so hard, or
literally,
you know, literally. And we did that video, and then I think we did one more after that. GradeAUnderA found out about that, and he tried to start internet drama. He came after us on Twitter. He sicked like his like hundreds of thousands of people on us, and just it was like for about 2 or 3 weeks, we got nothing but comments like basically just.
From GradeAUnderA?
Yeah, from his.
Be glad
from his
I
fans.
wasn't around for that.
And he
time.
and Grade himself basically on stream basically called us dogs and said that we deserved to be shot. And I'm like,
dude, come test it though. That's what I'm saying about all of this shit. When it comes to Moist Critical, when it comes to Sneako, when it comes to all these people that talk that kind of shit, it's like, dude,
okay,
where are you at?
No, and this is my thing about it. This is why I'm happy about the YouTube boxing thing, because you know what? I was like, all right, show up here.
Even that is
we'll box.
Made, in my
we'll
opinion.
We'll do it for charity. No, and it can't. And you can think of it as bitch made.
You can't hit a motherfucker with a brick in the boxing ring, dude. If you want to test me, if you want to say I need to be shot, there's a lot of things. that can happen.
I live by street rules. That's how I live.
No, and I get that.
I grew up in the hood. So.
No, and I get that, and that's the thing. Like if they want, like if y'all want to meet out in the street, let's do it. Let's squabble. Let's do this shit. But
there's 10
I'm saying
rounds and it's over. This is for life, dude. If you want to go that route,
it's true. But everyone talks a big game, dude. Everyone talks a big game on the internet, and I've seen GradeAUnderA. He's a tall string bean like Pakistani kid, and I'm just like, dude, I eat. Like I shit bigger than you. What the
front
fuck
kick
are you?
To the kneecap, bro. That tree falls down.
Yeah, either that. Yeah, elliptical kick. What John Jones always did.
Mm-hmm.
But
it works.
It does. It's very good.
It'll
also
your
not only that, but you know, I'll bear hug his ass and I'll body slam him, dude. I mean, because I'm used to that shit.
When it came to that shit with Moist Critical, dude, even he said he's not trying to fight. Then what are you doing?
Yeah, why
let the man bury himself. Why are you going to sit there and bring an excavator to a site where somebody's digging their own grave, bro?
Because
just let him sit there and work himself to death doing nothing.
And that's basically what I did. And then GradeAUnderA eventually got on the wrong side of internet beef and wound up falling into obscurity. And now almost no one remembers GradeAUnderA. And here I am. I'm just like, well, here I stand, still here. Yeah. Who's laughing now?
That's how it is. Never give in to desperate people, because Sneako is currently in a desperate way to climb back on top.
Yes,
and he was on the top of the platform for TikTok. He was on top of the platform on YouTube for a little bit. Mm-hmm. He was up and coming with Aiden Ross, and obviously now you know what happens going on. Now you heard what's going on with Aiden Ross.
All
of them are in that same bubble with obviously the Tate brothers.
Well, yeah, I call them the Tate nut hangers.
Ride and just when they see the bald head is yes.
Well, that's all they were.
Yes,
They're Tate nut hangers. That's all they are, dude. They just like hang off of Tate's nuts, and they just basically are just like, oh Tristan, oh Andrew, you're so smart, you're so intelligent. It's like, dude, Andrew is like they're both like world class kickboxers, and I give them credit on that.
That's what they want.
It's like the pickup artist movement from the early 2000s fused with like Affliction T-shirt company and formed these fucking idiots.
But that's my thing. Like they're world class kickboxers and like they're good chess players and all that. I mean, their dad was like an international grandmaster, and I give them credit where credit is due on what they're good at. But that does not make them intellectuals that are literally like just infallible. No, they say shit all the time, and I'm just like, there's
motherfuckers looking like a creature from Abe's Odyssey. fucking ugly bastards.
Yeah,
I spent a lot of time in those spaces. Like I want to, because the content I want to shift into is kind of like relationship advice, because I grew up with Jay Fluent and this other individual named Travis Bass, and these were actual YouTubers that gave genuine, actual good advice, not if she's older than 25 and you get with her and you're a beta male, and you if she's a single mother, then you're dating a leftover. Like, you have these very bitter people, and that's what the Tate fan base is about. Like, I want to educate today's society of how relationship advice is, and I spent 6 months on both the blue pill and red pill, and just seeing the it's just sad.
You see the worst of both sides, and you're just like, okay, I'm gonna avoid all that shit.
Yeah,
they convince themselves that they're right. That's what happens.
No, they're in an echo chamber. They're in an echo
chamber.
Exactly,
they're in an echo chamber, and even if there's things that Tate will say that's completely false and completely wrong, they will hop on that bandwagon and die on that hill. Mm-hmm. And when they when it's proven what Tate said it has been false, they will die on that hill, no matter if it's been proven wrong. If many people came out and said that's not true, I'm a woman or I'm a man of ABC and XYZ, this is my view, I am a quote-unquote traditional man, I'm a quote-unquote modern man, I'm a quote-unquote modern woman, or I'm a quote-unquote traditional woman, and I don't even believe in that way. And they're like, oh, well, but generally, exceptions and this, and they'll just like try to fight them on their, actual truth. And then
whatever
you have
it takes,
people who bite off of them, which is people like Aiden and Sneako and whatever. And when you try to question them, say, "Hey, don't you think that this is A and this is B?" Like, but they can't critique people in the same space as them, and that's the thing I hate. I hate when people are, even though they're labeled in the red space or red pill or blue pill, they can criticize people in their own spaces, which is like stupid.
No,
and you say stale. You never evolve the thought process that way.
Yeah. And that's my thing with I've watched Andrew Tate and I've seen some highlights that he's had and all that, and he starts off saying a few things. I'm just like, he's got a point on a few things, but then he rattles off like the ultra like alpha male bullshit where he's just like, I'm just like, and there we go.
No.
And I'm like, dude,
he gets you like this, and then he goes,
and then like a little bit of nuance, a little bit of like a fixed perspective would benefit that man greatly, but he won't do it because he's just so up his own ass, and he's just dedicated to being this wannabe alpha male that just knows everything, and he's just like, I've got all these cars out front, and all these
Bugatti,
I got my McLarens, I got my all this out front, and all these women, they see that and they're immediately attracted to me. I could be fat, ugly, and all this, but as long as they see that I make money, I'm like, look at you degrading people down. You're literally just like these like TikTok feminists who are just like, the only thing men are good for is sperm donation.
Look, when it comes to people like Andrew Tate, they have a point. You know what I mean? They go down to levels of degeneracy on the right side that prove the exact points on the blue side against them. And the same thing happens. The right side will be like, these people are, they can't be trusted. They're criminals, blah, blah, blah. No, we're not. We'll throw a brick through a window. It's like they just prove each other right constantly.
Yes, it's the two extremes feeding each other, and everyone else in the middle ground just like gets caught in the crossfire. That's literally what happens.
And I watched, and especially in the red pill space, it's like, oh, women should stay virgins, and they shouldn't be sleeping around. Or they call it 304s, for in other words, for HOE.
Yeah.
So these 304s are sleeping with all these people. No, women should be pure, and no men of high status only goes for younger women who are virgins and stuff like that. But if you're a high status man, if you get married, it's okay for the man to cheat and this and that.
No.
So I'm like thinking, wait, hold up. So you want all women to be virgins and wait till marriage, but it's okay for the guy to cheat. But with your same philosophy, how can they cheat if you're trying to get all women to be virgins and wait till marriage? You're telling women should not partake in any
the sheer hypocrisy.
relations or
Yeah.
exactly. They should not partake in any relations, but it's okay for guys to cheat. So how can a guy cheat if you're trying to say all women should be virgins?
How's about this? How's about if you're a hoe, you're a hoe. I mean, doesn't matter what's dangling between your legs or lack thereof. If you act like a hoe,
a badge of honor. If you
want to, go ahead.
I'm gonna laugh.
Like
at
honestly,
you,
yeah. There's I have people I know who are hoes, and they're they're
male
cool
and
as fuck.
female.
Yes. Oh
And I
dear
laugh at 'em
Lord,
for being hoes.
I do too. But guess what? They're still my friends, and
Exactly.
I'm just like, dude, I don't approve of your lifestyle, but you're cool to hang out with, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun hanging out with you. But
On both ends of that, people take themselves way too seriously. You're
Yes.
not that important. That's the
No.
message. You're amazing, and every individual is great in their
Yes.
own way. And congratulations for
They can be,
existing.
yeah.
That's an accomplishment. But at the same time, chill the fuck out. All right.
Yeah.
Calm down. Stop seeing yourself as like, I've slept with this X amount of people, therefore I'm a player and people should listen to me. And it's like, no.
No, I ain't
It's like,
listening to nobody.
No.
I'm done.
Yep. I
Yeah.
agree.
And speaking of done, I think that's gonna do it for this because I know you got shit you gotta get to, Chad. But
I do.
Figured we'll go ahead and just exit out of this. But before we go, I wanted to announce something. I want to thank all of our subscribers on this amazing channel.
Damn, we're getting subs.
Yeah, we already got we have 100 subscribers now, and I am very happy about that. Thank you all very much for getting us to the 100 benchmark, and hopefully more here soon. But for right now, everybody, I think that is going to do it for the Beardy Boys. So signing off, I'm Nate.
I'm Rick.
I'm Chad.
And y'all be good people. Take care.
Love your faces.